Hello students, today we are going to discuss the topic energy flow in an ecosystem. This presentation contains the different terms, that is concept of energy flow in ecosystem, components of energy flow in ecosystem, ecological energetics, laws governing the energy transformation in ecosystem, interconnection among organisms, the 10% law, and concept of energy pyramid. Now let us discuss about the energy flow in an ecosystem. The behavior of energy in ecosystem is called as energy flow. It is transfer of energy from one trophic level to another trophic level. Sun is the only source of energy for all ecosystem on the earth. Solar energy of sun is transferred into chemical energy by the process of photosynthesis. Then it is stored again in plant tissues and transferred into mechanical and heat form of energy during the metabolic activities. Energy movement is always unidirectional, that is from higher end to lower end, and hence this movement is called as energy flow. This is a pictorial presentation of energy flow through an ecosystem in which plants, that is producer, get energy from solar energy, that is from sun, and this energy is transferred from producer to consumer, that is primary, secondary. Through decomposer, it again goes to the producer. That is, this is a energy cycle, flow of energy. Every ecosystem has several interrelated mechanisms that affect on human life. These are the water cycle, carbon cycle, oxygen cycle, nitrogen cycle, energy cycle. Every ecosystem is controlled by these cycles. During photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is taken up by plants and oxygen is released. Animals depend on this oxygen for their respiration. The water cycle depends on the rainfall, which is necessary for plants and animals to live. The energy cycle recycles nutrients into the soil on which plant life grows. Our own lives are closely linked to these cycles of life. Now discuss the components of the energy flow in ecosystem. The first component is sun. The energy used for all plant life process is derived from solar radiation, and all animals are further dependent on plants. About 34% of the sunlight reaching the Earth's atmosphere is reflected back. 10% is held by ozone layer, water vapor and other atmospheric gases. The rest, 56%, reaches the Earth's surface, and out of that only 2 to 10% is used by plants and the remaining is absorbed as heat by water or by ground. Second component is producer. The green plants in the ecosystem are called as producers. In terrestrial ecosystem, major producers are herbaceous and woody plants. Likewise, primary producers in an aquatic ecosystem are various species like phytoplankton, algae and higher plants. Next component is consumers. All animals depend on plants directly or indirectly for their food needs. Hence, they are called as consumers and also called as heterotrophs. Decomposers, the heterotrophic organisms, mainly fungi and bacteria, which meet their energy and nutrient requirements by degrading dead organic matter or detritus. They are also called as saprotrophs. Now the next term is ecological energetics, which include energy transformation which occur within the ecosystem. In ecological energetics, quantity of energy reaching an ecosystem per unit area per unit time. Quantity of energy trapped by green plants and converted into a chemical form by the photosynthesis reaction. The quantity and path of energy flow from green plants to organisms of different trophic levels over a period of time. That is energy flow from producer to laws governing energy transformation in ecosystem. The chemical energy of food is the main source of energy required by all living organisms. This energy is transmitted to different trophic levels along the food chain. This energy is based on two different laws of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics that states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only change from one form to another. Second law of thermodynamics states that energy is transferred, more and more of it is wasted. Under natural conditions, energy tends to flow from higher level to lower. Ecosystem follows the first law of thermodynamics. That is, when organism dies, its energy is not destroyed, but it is dissipated in the surrounding through decomposers. Further, ecosystem also follows second law of thermodynamics. There is degradation of energy from non-random to random form. The energy in living organism is in non-random form, that is in the form of chemical bonds of biomolecules. But when there is decomposition occurs, the non-random energy is converted to random form by the decomposer. That is, from complicated form it is converted to simpler form. Interconnection among organisms. All the organisms in an ecosystem are interconnected. That is, the energy flow occurs through their interconnections. These interconnection can be studied by food chain to understand the basic connection between the organism, which we have already discussed in my last video lecture. There are many types of food chains. Among these, grazing and detritus food chain is major one. The 10% law. This law was introduced in context to energy flow in ecosystem by Raymond Lindemann. According to this law, during the transfer of energy from organic food from one trophic level to the next, only 10% of the energy from organic matter is stored as flesh. The remaining energy is lost during transfer, broken down in respiration, or lost to incomplete digestion by higher trophic level. For almost all organisms on the earth, the primary source of energy is solar energy, that is energy from the sun. We receive less than 50% of the sun's effective radiation on the earth. Energy pyramid, which represents the amount of flow of energy in each trophic level. It is expressed in calories per unit area per year. In an ecosystem, the energy flows from producer level to consumer level. At each successive trophic layer, there is a huge loss of energy. That is about 10% of energy is lost in the form of heat and respiration process. Thus, at each next higher level, only 10% of the energy passes on. Hence, there is sharp decrease in energy at each and every producer to omnivores or top corners. Therefore, the pyramid of energy is always upright. This is a energy pyramid, which is sometimes called as trophic pyramid. It is a graphical representation showing the flow of energy at each ecological pyramid trophic level. That is from primary producer, then primary consumers, secondary consumers, third level consumers and apex predators. This is also energy pyramid in which energy is reduced from producer to the tertiary consumer. Dead organisms also contribute to the energy flow. Decomposition describes the breakdown of organic waste and dead organism. Energy is released in decomposition. When living organisms carry out decomposition, this is called as biodegradation process. Detritivores such as small insect, earthworm, bacteria and fungi obtain energy and nutrients by eating dead plants and animals. Decomposers such as bacteria and fungi changes waste and dead organism into nutrients. Ecological succession. It is a process through which ecosystems tend to change over a period of time. Succession can be related to seasonal environment change, which create changes in the community of plant and animal living in the ecosystem. The best example is the pond ecosystem, in which there is seasonal environmental changes, that is from early colonization state to after monsoon it shows the mature aquatic ecosystem, and again in summer it reverts back. These are some references on this topic. This is a question bank in which the explanation about energy flow, components of energy flow, laws, then term ecological succession, ecological energetics, discussion about the energy pyramid, and the last question is about the MCQ, that is energy is. We know that energy is reduced in every trophic level when it passes from producer to consumer.